Right, pay attention you lot. It's the start of the engine project. Are you listening at the back? Good. Right, now the idea is to get a small engine, lawnmower type engine or any stationary engine, and do it up and mount it as if it was one of these antique engines. But with it being a modern one, the only challenge I set myself, the whole project has got to cost nothing. Not a penny. Anyway, I took it outside and fiddled about with it a bit, and put some petrol in. Found out what was, well, I didn't find out what was wrong here, found out later, I'll show you. Anyway, there we are, get it going. So I took the mower upstairs and stripped it down, you know. Now, the original series is good, although it's a bit long. My first series I did, first proper series, my friends really encouraged me to do it, made sure I didn't cut corners, cheat on it, all the rest of it. Got quite a bit of the usual banter about it. Anyway, we got it stripped down, and it all worked out okay in the end, and I ended up with a nice little engine, as you can see. So someone gets an engine and they start to take to pieces and they think, oh, I'll have a go at that, and they get the cowl off and that, and then they take the sump off and there's black oil all over it, and they say, blow me neck, you know. And if they're in the garden it'll be bad, if they're in the garage it'll take ages cleaning up, and of course if you happen to be doing it on the blooming room table, well, your missus will spare, won't she? Probably chuck the house and divorce you. So the first thing is draining the fluids, and so I drain the oil. I took it out the top. There is a sump plug, but it's a light engine, so it's easier to do it this way. We'll start to take the arterials off. I was hoping to do a strip down in one video, but it's I think it's going to be too long. Look at that, eh? Like new. Scotty says she's brand new, eh? Look at that. And that's alright, isn't it? So what I do as well, as I said, is just if I shine the video round, it shows you where. I'll turn it round so it's in the light. There we are. And if you just look at that, you can see where all the brackets go when it goes back together, you know, because there's a nice little petrol tank there. That's the petrol tank, and carburetor is on top of it, obviously, you can see it there, and a little air cleaner. Oh, it's a very simple job indeed. Right, we'll attempt to show you how to take the flywheel off. That's the bit that gives the spark with the magnets in and blows the air and generally keeps the engine running true, because all engines without a flywheel wouldn't work. After degreasing, I'll show you the best way of cleaning stuff. It's very simple and a cheap way, and the best you can do. Now, the thing is, always wear safety glasses with these, because if a bit of this bristle flies off and it's in there, it'll blind you. So I'll just clamp it to that, look, clamp this to the bench, the drill. That's the magician's trick. Now if you can see that, look, there's your valves. So there's your exhaust valve. It's slightly smaller. There's the inlet valve. That's the inlet manifold. It goes from the carburetor to there. And this pipe here is the breather pipe. Now you can see it, I think. Oh, here we are. That's a cam follower. Just fell out. We know where it goes. There's two the same. No difference. And they just poke in the... They literally do what they say. They follow that camshaft. I'll just show you that. It might be of interest. Might not. Right, see the lobe on the camshaft there. Well, that sits there. And when the engine turns, that lobe pushes that open and opens the valves. So I continued to strip the engine, showing you all the parts. Now in the original series I go into a lot more detail, so you might like to look at that and it'll be explained clearly. Right, now that crankshaft will pull out. There we are, look at that. I'll leave that there because that cap's okay. Right, there's crankshaft. A lovely little connecting rod and nice little piston. Now we've got the engine builder's nightmare, the piston rings, because they've been used. Luckily they're not very used, and they're not pegged. But taking piston rings off, oh, it's a nightmare. It really is. They break. And remember, I'm trying to do this engine for nothing, and if this breaks, it's well, it's disaster. Little tiny circlip in there. And all you do, you twist it in and it comes out like that. And it's found on the floor, but I've got it. So we found it. So hang on, I'll show you properly. There we are, look, it's just a little spring. And it goes in there like that. And there's a little groove in the, you probably can't see it, but there's a little groove inside the piston. So we've got that, and I put that safely in the jug. Right, now I'll show you the washing, which is very simple, obviously. The outside plate will get cleaned. You know, we'll wire brush that, and that will be wire brushed as well. So that's it. Now there is something of interest though, and it was pointed out to me. I didn't actually show the camshaft timing. We need the timing marks, and camshaft have to be timed. Well, yeah, I can't see it now. It's dark in here. There we are. Now, if you get that level with the top, and the piston is what they call top dead centre, and that is with a crank at the very top, and that means the piston, I can show you that, right, you see the piston come down and then it goes there, and that is top dead centre. See that little tiny dot there? If you just get it, there's a timing mark there. So those two have to line up, but the moment it doesn't line up, but that's at top dead centre. Now the valves need to be what they call rocking, and what it means is they're actually both just shut, but if I turn it both ways like that, you can see that one opens then the other one. So we put that there with those lobes facing upwards, and we put this sprocket on. And you can see that little peg there, yes, you can see that. So we put that on, there's a slot there, which you can see if I come back a little bit, there we are. So we put that on like that. Now, if the timing marks are not lined up, but we turn it round, and, I've done it round again, but look, go round, and you can now see that those marks, just there with my thumb there, right, go closer, you can actually see it's a little tiny blurred there maybe, but that dot is in the sprocket with the peg in it, so that means it's timed properly. An engine, a 4-stroke engine, works very simply. It's suck, squeeze, bang, blow. That's how you remember it. That's shut, both valves are shut. That's your compression stroke. That's your power stroke, because both valves are shut. That's when the spark occurs, and the petrol air mixture in the cylinder, which of course is covered by the head. Just remember that the head's on. It goes like that. So the head's on there, like that, and it squeezes the gases, and the spark goes, ignites it, and it burns. It doesn't explode, it burns very fast, and it pushes the piston down, like that. And then, just before it gets to the bottom, the exhaust valve opens, and the piston comes up and blows the burnt gases out. Finally got the engine ready to put it together. So we start assembling all the engine. That one, you just have to put that in. It's very quick, you see. So you can see it. The bit that's tighter together goes to the block, to the top of the valve. Really quite loose. They're very small ones. You can feel them go tight, like that, and it just there. You can actually feel them go tight. You can. There. Putting the bolts in, and when you tighten them up, start in the middle of course, and I just pull them tight like that. Now I'm not really tightening them, they're tightened down, so I'm just showing you very quickly. You just do it like that. See, and go to corners like that, there, there, there and there. So that's all done, and it's all looking quite nice actually. Well, after I got the engine finished, I had to make a mount for it. Because remember, I was making a modern show engine. That's what we were doing. I'm making it for nothing, which I'd done. You know, I was tough with this. So, there we are. Is that going to be any good or not? And I think it looks about in proportion. Well, as far as I'm concerned, my job's finished. We've done the engine. It's all healed up. And that was the aim of the project, to show you how to do it, and how to clean it, and how to recondition it. And I've actually done it without buying anything. Well, let's see what happens. thought I'd show you it, got it finished. So, yeah, I'm not too displeased. You know, I put a little bit of aluminium on the front. I don't know if you can see this, but I've managed, which I think is quite good for me, to etch that and make a little nameplate. All polished up, look. So it's not come too bad. Not really, has it? And all the woods, the mount's finished, of course. I've oiled it and polished it with furniture polish. We use, and it's come alright actually. I've got a small hole there, and I put 2 wheels on. You know, so that's it. That's the end of the project.